Hello and welcome to 6 Ways to Build Your Credibility, Confidence, and Style. And I am Leslie Kristen, and we are going to have about 30 minutes of fun, hopefully enlightening. And I am going to share with you some of the services and the offerings that I do and the experience that I have to hopefully enlighten you on a few ways that you can take away building your confidence and really kind of enhancing your style and just growing your leadership look. So my belief is that you are the protagonist of your brand and that you get to choose your own first impression. And that is something that, having worked in film and television, is just something that I kind of grew to know through my years of makeup artistry. And now that we are in the world of social media and online, just like all of you watching this, is something that we have to really be concerned about a lot more than I think we had in the past. So here is yours truly, just in a little picture that I took, and it's you've got 5 seconds to make a first lasting impression. So you get to choose what that impression is going to be. And of course, with this shot, you can see that lighting is everything, a little bit of makeup. Of course, it was just a little selfie, and same absolute scenario, but many of us would rather not deal with having to do all of that work. But the biggest thing about it is that you want to step into, the audience's world, or who your client may be. And the reality is that we do judge a book by its cover. And we do it just like everyone is judging me or anybody else that you see on camera. And it's okay to admit it. It's just all about being real, taking advantage of what we know, and then really just kind of up-leveling your own look. And so we're going to have some fun with that. So I am going to open up, let me see if I can open up the chat here. And I wanted to see if you can tell me, or what comes to your mind with this picture that you see. So I would love to know, what do you think this person does? And just by looking at her, I've used this picture in many different scenarios. And some people say that, yes, that in some kind of a boring field, and she works in a stuffy office. Yeah, I've had like insurance, or maybe like healthcare, something kind of like that. Not a very sexy profession, but she actually does work in a sexy profession, I would say. And believe it or not, so I met this lady, and she is actually a spa consultant, one of the top spa consultants in the world, actually, and travels all over to very high-end places and teaches them how to grow their business. This was the headshot that she had when I first met her. And I said to her, you're amazing at what you do, and I need to help you with the new headshots. So this was her headshot afterwards. So does this look now align with if she were to tell you, I'm a premier spa consultant and I can help you make lots of money, right? 100% yes. Yeah, thank you. Exactly. So again, here it is. We are just talking about these first impressions and what a difference just that picture. Imagine having that one picture. She didn't look very successful in that other picture, I kind of felt, but here, absolutely. And it's much more aligned also with that industry too. So my question to you is, are you trying to capture clients online, Is that something, you can also put that in the chat if that's something that maybe you're doing right now. Are you looking for a new job or a promotion? If your boss is on the chat and you don't want to say yes, then maybe not. Also, are you now on camera daily? So a lot of you, especially over the past 2.5 years now, it seems like going on 3, that it is a lot of people have now had to switch over to video, Zoom, Google Meet, all of these different platforms, because that's how you're conducting your meetings. Maybe did you get promoted and it's time to update? Is that why maybe you signed up for this webinar? So I work with clients that are all kind of had all of these different scenarios. So I'm going to share with you, in case you don't know who I am, just a little bit about who I am and why I can actually talk about this. So my name is Leslie Kristen, and I'm the creator and president of Cara Cosmetics. I also have a Studio Cara in Maitland, Florida, which is in the Central Florida, Orlando area. And we also have the Cara Makeup Academy. So we have a couple of different things that we do within our business, or my business. And I am a union film and television makeup artist, and I have been doing that for close to 30 years now. And so I do have a lot of experience working in a lot of different types of scenarios. I've worked with very successful, high-powered professionals. I work a lot now in the studio as well, and online like this with very successful women that I help them with their branding, with the look that they want to achieve, and creating successful and somewhat simplified techniques that can help you just feel confident, comfortable, and have you look your best. And so this is something that I've been doing for years. Here's a little bit of my portfolio with film and television shows, also a lot of print work as well. We've been featured in a lot of magazines, and I've worked with tons of different celebrities, and of course a lot of different corporate keynote speakers and CEOs, and you name it. We also do weddings. So I've done the gamut of makeup artistry. And after I worked in film for about 12 years, I decided that I wanted to start my own business. And that is Cara Cosmetics. Cara means face in Spanish, for those of you that don't know that. And I actually started it in 1997. So it's been a bit. And so we have a full line of cosmetics. Our slogan is that we test our products on actors and not on animals. And we are a women-owned business and also made in the USA. So those are very important things for me as a business owner. This is actually a picture of our old studio. And Studio Cara was born in 1999. So a few years after I started Cara Cosmetics, the brand, and was primarily selling to salons and spas, then I started to get a lot of people that would come to me and say, hey, can you teach me how to do my makeup? Or I'm getting married, I'd like to have my makeup done. And so that's really how my studio organically grew. And then I got featured in some different magazines, and I just started to get more renown. And I have done thousands of makeup lessons, I think. I was thinking about that today, how many of those. I've done hundreds of weddings, and these are a lot of my corporate clients that I work with as well. So you can see, I also do corporate events, work with a lot of, again, high profile corporate clients. And so there is a variety of I guess, techniques with makeup artistry that are going to be specific to the type of job that you have. So what I see a lot is, of course, now with YouTube and Instagram and all of that, a lot of people go to YouTube to learn techniques, but a lot of times you're kind of learning from influencers and they're not necessarily trained working makeup artists that are teaching you techniques that are kind of relevant maybe to that industry that you have, right? So these are some of the things that throughout my years of experience that I've been able to educate and to promote and to grow to, future clients. So here we're going to talk about our 6 ways to build your credibility, confidence, and style. So Looks to Lead, which is a program that we offer, and it's going to be starting in April. These are some of the nuggets that you can take away today by itself, but that are all included in a much bigger course, is showing you, first off, it's showing you how to look more memorable. Probably all of you know that there might be some people, or maybe you've even had bosses that are great at what they do, but they don't really make an impact with their image, or maybe their image, kind of like I showed you with the spa consultant before, she didn't have that wow factor to her. And as a leader, I think that that is something that's very important for you. It doesn't have to be glamorous. We're going to talk about that a little bit, but you do have to have some type of, you want people to remember you. And you also, you want to attract your ideal audience, whether that's new clients, whether it's a new employer, or maybe it's employees. Maybe that is your audience as well. So the first thing we're going to do is talk a little bit about your personal branding and the power of social media. So social media, which has become such a huge factor for all of us, and I am not necessarily a fan of being on social media a lot. I am definitely old school, but social media for me ties in to my film experience, my film background as a makeup artist. And so today you have to translate some of those skills that I have as a makeup artist into having that memorable look on social media or in your branding. And the proven fact is that in the world of video and social media, your appearance impacts your level of success as a professional. And that is the truth. And if we don't really want to look at it, then that's it will harm you. It really will. And so if any of you have found that you're doing more things for social media, please share that in the chat. Like if you find like, wow, I need to up-level my branding, or I need to kind of look at, something about that. Or I am spending more time or money or budget in my social media platform. I would love to know that too. So there are 1.785 billion active daily users on Facebook. That is mind-blowing how many people are on social media. Also and these, there's probably even more now, but 66.09% of Facebook users are logging in on a mobile device or on a desktop daily. And also probably a lot of you that may be watching this is going to be important is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is huge for business. And one thing that I see on LinkedIn is so many people don't even have some kind of professional photo of themselves. So that is also very important to your branding. Number one is one of the things that we do in the Looks Lead is discovering your style archetype. And this is also something that I do with my clients when they come into the studio too. So what is your style archetype? Now, there are 12 different archetypes that we go into, which I won't go into them all today, but this is, I would say, one of the archetypes. It's called the ruler. Now, in the into Looks to Lead, what we do is we start off with this whole questionnaire, presentation, not presentation, a questionnaire, and we ask questions, and you fill this out, and we get to know really the essence of who you are. And what that does is it really starts, in case you don't really know your style, what it does is it really starts to give you some enlightenment into kind of developing your brand. And so we look at this from of course, in Looks to Lead, it is for leaders. A lot of leaders will fall into this ruler category or this ruler archetype. This is one of my clients, absolutely a ruler. And for a ruler, and I would say some of you that are watching, you may be rulers as well, but status is important to you. Brand, quality, leadership, power. You might be, more competitive. You are a natural leader. You're a boss, you're a director, you're a mentor, a role model, that you would fall into that ruler. So what does that look like? And then we start to develop that ruler look, what sounds and feels good to you. There's also the humanitarian. That's another one, very different from the ruler. Now you could also, what we do is we discover, your leading archetype and then your supporting archetype too. So you might fall into two. But the humanitarian, this is someone that is, friendly, supportive, genuine. They may not be quite as status driven as, let's say, the ruler archetype. They're the advocate, the citizen, the neighbor. They're the everyday person. That's what really might ring true to you. A ruler may be in a completely different position, or the type of business that can be completely different than a humanitarian business. So it's really fun. And that is one of the things that I find most of my clients that are in the Looks to Lead program is that they really find that gives them a lot of ahas in there. The next thing is that I really believe that everyone can look amazing without spending a fortune. You don't have to spend a fortune. It's really having the things that look good on you and loving the things that you have too. The next thing I just want to share a little bit about is brand cohesion. This is super important, and you want to look at this within not only your company, and I would say companies do this a lot, but they don't necessarily look at brand cohesion with how you appear in public or how you appear on social platforms. And this is going to be very important for you, branding yourself as a leader, as your own personal brand, and you may be within a brand or a company that has very specific rules on their branding too. But one of the things I would say is Google your name. A lot of people don't do this. This is something that would be a great little exercise. You don't have to do it right now, but after we finish, Google your name and see all the photos and the things that show up, right? And so having a cohesive branded look is imperative to success. From your daily image to your headshot to your on-camera webinars, it's going to be important. And why do you think that this is important? What is something that having a branded look, and feel free to share in the chat, is important? What happens when you have a branded cohesive look? What that does is it's really bringing the best of your authentic self out. And why is that important? Because people trust someone that looks consistent. That's why franchises are so successful, because you don't get a different burger every time you go to Wendy's, you get the same tasting burger all the time. So, if you had a weird burger one day at Wendy's, you would think something's really wrong, just like Starbucks or any other place that you go to. It's kind of the same with us. If you look different, now some professions, you have a lot of freedom to do that, especially if you're a hairstylist or, a makeup artist or an artist themselves. A lot of times it can, but when you are dealing with the public and social media, it can be a little disconcerting. So you want to really look at that. Your brand should be polished, successful, and approachable. That is going to create trust. That's also if you are looking to be hired or if you're transitioning to a job, that your image will say so much for you. So successful professionals know the importance of image and the effect it can have on their success. And here was a client of ours that she found that she actually created a new headshot, some new pictures, learned, some looks, and she actually got headhunted and got a much better job just from her LinkedIn profile and changing some of those things, obviously with interviews. And of course, that was during the time of COVID. So this is just a really cool testimonial from not having any idea that she wasn't even looking for a job. So here's another client of mine. She's a fitness coach and she's an influencer. So her image is completely different, but she's very on point all the time because she's a glammy girl. She's in her 40s and she wants to show, young moms that they can get that body again, and she can also be on brand and look her best. Another one is the impact that you will have with your employees, elevating your look or just having a more cohesive look. Especially if you are a woman, you're a mom, we wear so many different hats that so often we don't find the time to take care of ourselves. So having something that is part of your formula is going to be very important. And it's amazing how when you're the leader or the boss, how other people will respond to you when you look the part. The next step is establishing your leadership look. So this is going to give you confidence. The more you start to refine that leadership look, and that is going to be with your makeup, with your skincare, with your clothing, with your wardrobe, with knowing your archetype, with knowing your style. So those are all the things that you want to look at. It's going to give you some confidence. And it doesn't matter what, this is a very natural lady. She's an older lady, but she started a podcast in her late 70s. So good for her. And then she was starting to be on camera more. And so, I think a lot of her clients were also golfers too. And so we found a beautiful, essence to her. So no matter what your style is, you want to find that best look. Here's another keynote speaker client of mine that we did everything virtually. I worked with her once on a corporate job, and then we did her whole branding session over Zoom, and we created a whole leadership look for her. She's very much on brand. She does a lot of keynote speaking. She's an author, and she lives in New York City. And so she was very excited to learn something. And it was actually, we started before COVID, where she could have a system, all on her own. I love her testimonial. It's pretty funny. It says, as embarrassing as it is to admit having been on camera and stage more times than I can count, because she's also an actor, I never learned to do my own makeup. I always relied on the artist assigned to the job, or I hired my own stylist based on the location, of course, traveling, but that was always a crapshoot. I would often end up not looking like me, garish, harsh, severe, or just plain weird. She said, my eyebrows were too high, my lips were too strong, rouge too red. You've been there too. It was stressful. Either I did my own makeup using my limited beginner level skills, or I'd risk looking like a weirdo. Now, I have to say this is funny because yeah, you don't know. And it's just, you probably, I don't know if you've had that experience before, but some people can be super heavy handed. And if you've had a makeup application, maybe in the mall or trying to maybe copy some influencers or something, it can be a crapshoot. So her testimonial was just really sweet. It said, you know, enter Leslie Kristen. So we start doing these services on her. Wow. Not only did Leslie's makeup artistry bring out the most beautiful version of me, which as you can see, she's supernatural. She miraculously taught me how to do it myself in repeatable, reliable, step-by-step systems that work every time. And I think this is key for women that are busy. The confidence, independence, and cost saving this has afforded me is beyond amazing. Leslie is fun, talented, professional, and an absolute fine. Thank you, Victoria. A makeup lesson with Leslie is the gift that keeps on giving for the rest of your life. Every time someone says, wow, you look gorgeous, I will smile and think, thank God for Leslie. As a PS, my private session with her was such a fabulous experience that I booked 2 more privates as birthday gifts for a close friend and her sister. And that is absolutely the truth. And like I was saying, this was before COVID. So with those skills, she was able to not only, because she actually did a whole book launch, she had these skills and it just worked in perfect timing, because then no matter what job she had, and of course, all of us started to be on camera, it just made her feel so good and confident. And it makes me feel good because I love knowing that my clients look the best they can. Mastering your look from skincare to makeup, that's going to be our session 3, or that's the third thing that you do. Now, there may be certain components that, and welcome, I know some of you have hopped on as well, but so the certain components of what you're learning or part of your leadership look is your facial features. So we've gone from discovering your archetypes to then learning, you know, your style, developing that leadership look. And then the next part is learning your skincare to makeup. And to believe it or not, okay, here we go, right? How many of us have been this way or would love to do this? Okay, I'm just only turning my audio on. I'm not turning my camera on because I don't want to deal with this. So I think a lot of clients now, they've had these 2 years of being on camera or having to do Zoom meetings, and we're kind of over it. And so I just love to throw a little humor in there because some of us may not look that rough, but maybe we felt it, right? Part of it may be that you're rebranding yourself. Here's one of my clients that she went from being a realtor to actually moving from Florida to Pennsylvania. And she is a nutritionist coach now. So she's completely rebranded herself. She also wanted to work on her on-camera presence too. So this was great that she could do every day on her own. Another one is, I have a lot of luxury realtor and just realtors themselves, learning how to put your best face forward. And that is going to be with a makeup look and also some skincare techniques. I found with, a good bit of my clients that are maybe a little older, skincare was also a big factor that maybe was something that they didn't work on as much and were more used to maybe the makeup side of it. So maybe that rings true for you. I don't know, but we go through all of that step by step. And this is another client of mine that's a dermatologist. So kind of looking at that, older picture to here is a much more up-to-date, powerful, contemporary, look for her. Here is one of our beautiful clients. She is in education and she's on the call as well, but we have done all kinds of different looks on Ginny. I absolutely love her, and she is always open to all kinds of fun things. And she has a lot of different hats that she has to wear too. So we've gone from dramatic looks to professional looks, and we've created an organized beauty routine for her. But of course, she loves to have all different kinds of beauty routines as well. So, but some of the key things that you're going to find, like Victoria was saying, in a simplified and organized beauty routine. If you have challenges with your beauty routine, post it in the chat. I would love to know if maybe this is an area that you're like, I really kind of want to update, maybe I'm not looking, maybe you got promoted and you want to look more the part. And that may be an area that you have a little challenge with. So, investing in yourself is an investment in your business, because that's, that is you. So the next thing that we work on is clothing styles for your body type. And this is a big one. How many times do you maybe see people, and I hear this a lot from one of my clients who she actually teaches. She teaches realtors. She teaches for the Florida Real Estate Commission. And she says, Leslie, you would be appalled by what some people wear. And I think that some people do not, either they're not aware of their body type, or again, I'm just putting a funny in here, Zoom, right? We've been wearing yoga pants. We've been maybe not wearing pants. We've been, this is something that if you have been in that position before and you need to kind of refresh your wardrobe and your closet and what you need to wear, this is a time. Or maybe we've put on a couple pounds, or maybe we've taken off a few pounds. So there's all kinds of things that happen with clients. So I don't know if you can relate at all to that.
Like what kind of cardboard?
And feel free in the chat if you have this challenge maybe with finding your clothing, or a little, finding yourself possibly a little, it's like a daunting process, right? So what we go through is also looking at different body shapes, and then what kind of clothing will look good on you for that. So this is just kind of one, like the inverted triangle shape, or the triangle shape, or the apple shape, or there's a whole bunch. And no matter who you are and what kind of industry you're in, you're going to adapt those things to your body type and to your archetype, to your style, and then to your wardrobe. And then the last thing is also getting a 21-day capsule wardrobe. You can start off with a 7-day capsule wardrobe, but this makes your life so easy to pick your clothes. Now, at my studio, our colors are black and white. It makes it really easy. I get makeup, on while I'm working. I can't wear really fancy clothes because I may be working with a client and I'll drop makeup, on my clothing. I don't want to ruin really nice things. So I have a simple kind of wardrobe. I've got my pants, and I've got my tops, and I love, maybe little funkier shoes. And so it's made my life easy, and I don't have to think about it too much. This is something that we kind of walk through, and you'll create a capsule wardrobe. And if you have a capsule wardrobe, I would love to know if you have that. So here's, for example, as we're going through all of the different modules of looks to lead, then you start to create your look. And this is what, of course, we all know Jennifer Aniston. It's kind of like this urban classic look. She is the key to having of course, she has a stylist or maybe several, but you will notice one thing she has aged amazingly over the past 20 years. And she also never changes her look too dramatically, especially her makeup. So what does that do? Kind of like we were talking about before, it brings you to that trust, to that consistency, to that ultimate branding. You know, she's cast that way as well. Most of the time she's cast as a comedian or somebody that's funny, likable, you know, the cute girl. And that makes her millions and millions and millions of dollars. And so she is very, you know, well branded, and it's just a great look for her. And this is probably one of the top looks that people ask me, like, oh, I love that Jennifer Aniston. She looks so great, kind of natural, but always put together. So maybe that's something that you like. There's a lot of other looks too. And then we're going to go into like finding your capsule wardrobe. And that's going to be, you know, whether you're plus size or whether you're a petite, or we go through all of those different. And so if you don't really know what looks best on you, or you're just thinking like, God, and I bet you, if you're kind of like me as well, you're probably using maybe 10% of your wardrobe, you know, or maybe 15% of your wardrobe. So we get to go through that, and there's a whole module on going through your wardrobe and creating that capsule wardrobe to make your life easy. So you're going to be able to learn virtually from anywhere, because the way that I work and teach, if you're in Central Florida, you can come to Studio Cara. But the Looks to Lead program that I want to extend to you, that is starting in April, if you want to work more with me, I'm going to offer you our Looks to Lead program. And so it is a 3-week transformational course. It begins April 18th, and it has 6 virtual on-demand sessions. So if you've enjoyed some of the things that you've learned today, and we get really deep, we dive deep, there are 6 virtual on-demand sessions, which are Monday and Wednesday. And then we have 3 live group sessions. So those are Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. And then you get 1 live one-on-one makeup lesson with me, which I know some of you have already had. You get that live one-on-one. It's also included. And then we have, for those of you that have watched the session today and decided to sign up today, then there's some fast action bonuses that you're going to get that aren't included in the course. So one of them is a $50 gift certificate for products. You can use that online, or you can use that in studio. We also have another webinar that is called the 5-Day Beauty Journey. And then you also get a 30-minute personal branding session. And this is something that I work with my more corporate clients, and we do a 30-minute branding session. So this is what is included besides all of those modules: 6 virtual on demand, the 3 sessions, plus you get recordings, you get access to all the live recordings as well. So if you miss a live group session, you will have that, or you want to rewatch it. So it's really simple. It's in our Cara Makeup Academy platform. We have a virtual school platform, and it's very organized in there, and there's lots of information. So you can, if you can't, when we launch the modules like Monday and Wednesday, if you can't watch them on those days, it's no problem, because you can watch it, you know, on the following day or the next day. And so it's over 3 weeks that you are going to have that full transformation. And we've reduced it $300. It's $299. And here is your link, which I'm actually going to, I'm going to put that link in the, I will put that link in the chat as well. And you also will have the opportunity to get a one-on-one, or like I said before, just for the first 10 people that enroll, the one-on-one branding session, and then the Cara Cosmetics, the gift certificate, and a virtual skincare consultation with our esthetician as well. That's going to be 30 minutes to learn all about your skincare and any questions that you might have. And these can be done, all of these things can be done virtually as well. So I would love the opportunity to work with you. Again, you can log on to lookstolead.com and it has all the information there. And this is going to be our special offer for those of you that have watched us. Or if you would like to extend this, you'll be getting, there will be a recording that we'll be sharing with you if you've missed part of this. And I hope to see you on the Looks to Lead program. It is lots of fun. Of course, you can always call us at Studio Cara. It's 407-622-1999. And I hope you've walked away with a few things that can help you or give you some ideas. You know, Google yourself, look and see how cohesive your branding is. Take a look at your closet and see if you're utilizing some of, you know, maybe 20% or 30% of that. Maybe some of the things that, you know, you can give away, or you can maybe refresh and change. And also, are you real clear on your style archetype? And is that where you really fall, or is it an area where you kind of fall short and you're a little undecisive and you know you could look a lot better? So either of those, I would love to work with you. And I want to thank you so much for being here during this session. And if you have any questions, I would love to answer any of those for you. And I thank you so much. And we'll see you at lookstolead.com. Bye.